Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in all the love that surrounds you and breathe out any worry or fear you might be carrying about money. That's it. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart open just a little bit more. You are so welcome here, and I'm so grateful you've chosen to spend this time with me today. I know why you're here. You're tired, aren't you? Tired of struggling with money. Tired of watching others seem to have it so easy while you work so hard and still feel like you're swimming upstream. You're tired of feeling guilty every time you want something nice for yourself. You're tired of the knot in your stomach when the bills come. You're tired of feeling like there's never enough, no matter how much you earn or save or sacrifice. And you know what? That exhaustion you feel is completely understandable. You've been carrying a heavy load, and it's not really about the money at all. It's about all the stories you've been told about money, all the fears that have been passed down to you, all the beliefs that have been planted in your beautiful mind that simply aren't true. You've been trying to grow a garden of abundance in soil that's been filled with the weeds of worry and lack, and sweet one, that's not your fault. I want you to know that your relationship with money can change. Not someday, not when you finally figure it all out, not when you become a different person, but right now, today. In this very moment, we can begin to plant new seeds. And the most beautiful part is that you don't need to become someone else to do this. You don't need to be more deserving, more worthy, more spiritual, or more anything. You are already enough, just as you are, sitting wherever you are right now. Money is not your enemy, though it might feel that way sometimes. Money is simply energy, and energy wants to flow. It wants to move and circulate and bring joy and ease into your life. But somewhere along the way, you learned to be afraid of it, to push it away, to believe it was too good for you, or too dangerous, or too complicated. And those beliefs have been creating invisible walls around you, keeping the very thing you desire at arm's length. Today we're going to start taking down those walls, one gentle thought at a time. We're going to look at money with fresh eyes, with love instead of fear, with curiosity instead of judgment. And we're going to discover something that might surprise you. You already have everything you need to transform your financial life. It's not about learning some complicated system or becoming a different person. It's about returning to who you really are, underneath all those learned fears and borrowed beliefs. Your financial struggles are not a reflection of your worth or your intelligence or your goodness. They're simply the result of thoughts and beliefs that you learned long ago when you were too young to question them. And just as you learned those thoughts, you can learn new ones. Just as you created those patterns, you can create new patterns. Your mind is not set in stone. Your future is not determined by your past, and your bank account is not a measure of your value as a human being. So let's begin this journey together with gentleness and patience. Let's approach your money story with the same loving kindness you would offer a dear friend who is struggling. Because that's exactly what you deserve, sweet one. You deserve love, especially from yourself. You deserve abundance. You deserve ease. And you deserve to feel safe and supported in this world. When we look back at how our beliefs about money first took root, we often find ourselves as small children, watching and listening and trying to make sense of the adult world around us. Those little ones that we once were, they were like sponges, absorbing everything they saw and heard about money, forming conclusions that seemed to make perfect sense at the time. Perhaps you watched your parents argue about money, their voices raised and their faces tight with worry. That little child inside you might have decided that money causes pain, that money brings conflict, that it's safer to not want too much, so you don't have to face that kind of tension. Or perhaps you grew up in a home where money was scarce, where every penny was counted and stretched, where there was never quite enough for the things you wanted. That child might have learned that money is hard to come by, that you have to struggle for every dollar, that wanting nice things makes you selfish or greedy. Maybe you heard phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy, or money is the root of all evil. These words, spoken by adults who were probably just repeating what they had learned in their own childhoods, became like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your young mind. And those seeds grew into beliefs that have been quietly running your financial life ever since. Some of you might have grown up with mixed messages about money. Perhaps your family struggled financially, but you were told that money wasn't important, that spiritual people don't care about material things, that it's more noble to be poor. These well-meaning messages created a split inside you, where part of you wants financial security and comfort, but another part feels guilty or ashamed for wanting those things. Others might have grown up with money, but learned that it came with strings attached. Perhaps love and approval were tied to achievement, or money was used as a tool of control. Maybe you learned that having money means others will only want you for what you can give them, or that wealth separates you from real people who are struggling. And then there are the messages our society sends us about money and worth. We're told that our value is measured by our productivity, our income, our possessions. We learn to equate financial success with personal worth, which means that when we struggle financially, we also struggle with feeling valuable and lovable. All of these early experiences and messages created what we might call your money story, the unconscious narrative that's been running in the background of your mind, influencing every financial decision you make. This story feels true because it's been with you for so long, because it was formed when you were young and impressionable, because it's been reinforced by experiences and observations throughout your life. But here's what's important to understand. That story was never really yours to begin with. It was handed down to you by people who had learned it from other people, going back generations. It was created by a child's mind trying to make sense of a complex world. And while it might have served some purpose at the time, perhaps keeping you safe from disappointment or helping you fit in with your family's values, it's probably not serving you very well now. The beautiful truth is that your money story is not set in stone. It's not your destiny or your fate. It's simply a collection of thoughts and beliefs that you've been thinking for so long that they feel like facts. But thoughts can be changed, beliefs can be updated, and the story of your financial life can be rewritten starting right now. You are not destined to repeat your family's financial patterns. You are not limited by where you came from or what you learned as a child. You are not stuck with the beliefs that were handed down to you. You have the power to choose new thoughts, to create new beliefs, to write a new story, and that power has been with you all along. Understanding the deep connection between your thoughts and your financial reality is perhaps the most important key to transforming your relationship with money. Most people think that money flows based on external factors, how hard they work, what degree they have, who they know, what the economy is doing. And while these things can certainly play a role, they're not the real determining factor in your financial success. The real determining factor is what's happening in your mind. Your thoughts about money, your beliefs about your own worthiness, your expectations about what's possible for you. These invisible elements are actually creating your visible financial reality. This might sound too simple or too mystical to be true, but it's actually based on how your mind works at the most fundamental level. Your subconscious mind, which operates below the level of your everyday awareness, is constantly working to make your outer world match your inner beliefs. If you believe, deep down, that money is hard to come by, your subconscious will guide you toward experiences that prove that belief true. You might unconsciously avoid opportunities, sabotage your own success, or make decisions that keep you stuck in struggle, all without realizing you're doing it. This isn't because your subconscious mind is trying to harm you. Quite the opposite. Your subconscious is trying to keep you safe and consistent with what it believes to be true about you and your world. If you learned early on that having money is dangerous or that you don't deserve abundance, your subconscious will work very hard to protect you from those dangers by ensuring you don't have too much money. The energy you carry around money is like a magnetic field that either attracts or repels financial opportunities. When you think about money with fear, anxiety, resentment, or feelings of unworthiness, you're sending out a vibration that pushes money away. When you think about money with love, gratitude, excitement, and feelings of deserving, you're sending out a vibration that draws money toward you. This is why traditional financial advice often falls short. You can have the best budget in the world, the smartest investment strategy, the most detailed business plan, but if your underlying beliefs about money are rooted in fear and limitation, you'll find ways to sabotage your own efforts. You'll overspend, make poor investment choices, or unconsciously repel the very opportunities that could transform your financial life. Your body is also intimately connected to your thoughts about money. When you think fearful thoughts about your finances, your body responds with stress hormones, tension, and anxiety. This physical state of fear actually impairs your ability to think clearly, make good decisions, and recognize opportunities. It keeps you operating from a place of survival rather than creativity and abundance. Conversely, when you think loving, appreciative thoughts about money, your body relaxes, your mind becomes clear, and you naturally start making better financial decisions. You become more open to opportunities, more creative in your thinking, more magnetic to the people and circumstances that can help you succeed. This is why affirmations and positive thinking work, but not in the magical way that some people think. They work because they gradually shift your underlying beliefs, which changes your energy, which changes your actions, which changes your results. It's a very practical process, even though it starts with something as intangible as a thought. The thoughts you think about money are also creating neural pathways in your brain. Every time you think a thought, you're strengthening the neural pathway associated with that thought. Think fearful thoughts about money often enough, and you'll create strong neural pathways for financial fear. Think abundant, appreciative thoughts about money often enough, and you'll create strong neural pathways for financial success. This is why changing your relationship with money requires patience and consistency. You're not just changing your mind, you're literally rewiring your brain. But here's the encouraging news. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, and it means that your brain can form new neural pathways at any age in response to new thoughts and experiences. Money, at its essence, is simply a tool for exchanging energy. It's a way for people to trade value with one another. When you provide something of value, whether it's your time, your skills, your products, or your services, money is simply the way that value gets acknowledged and reciprocated. When you understand money this way, it becomes much less scary and much more natural. The universe is abundant by nature. Look around you and notice the countless leaves on a single tree, the millions of grains of sand on a beach, the infinite stars in the sky. Abundance is the natural state of things. Scarcity is a human concept created by fearful thinking and scarcity-based systems. When you align your thinking with the abundant nature of the universe, you begin to experience that abundance in your own life, including financially. Now, sweet one, we come to the heart of what I want to share with you today. After years of working with thousands of people who have transformed their financial lives, after witnessing miracle after miracle of abundance flowing into the lives of those who seemed most stuck, I've discovered that there is indeed one simple thing that changes everything. Not a complicated formula, not a secret technique that requires years of study, but something so simple you might want to dismiss it at first. but please don't. The simplest truths are often the most powerful. The one thing that I want you to say, the phrase that has the power to completely transform your relationship with money, is this: I lovingly allow money to flow to me easily and abundantly because I am worthy of all good things. That's it. Those 16 words contain everything you need to shift from struggle to ease, from fear to love, from scarcity to abundance. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be saying, Louise, that sounds too simple. How can just saying some words change my bank account? And I understand that skepticism, because we've been taught that everything valuable must be complicated, that transformation must be difficult, that we have to earn our way to abundance through struggle and sacrifice. But the truth is that the most profound changes often come through the simplest means. Your subconscious mind, which is running your financial life, responds to clear, loving, consistent messages. It doesn't need complicated strategies or complex formulas. It needs to hear over and over again what you want to be true, spoken with love and conviction and absolute faith in your own worthiness. This particular combination of words works because it addresses every single barrier that's been keeping money away from you. When you say, I lovingly allow, you're shifting from force to flow, from pushing to receiving, from struggle to ease. When you say money to flow to me easily and abundantly, you're reprogramming your mind to expect ease instead of difficulty, abundance instead of scarcity. And when you say, because I am worthy of all good things, you're healing the deepest wound of all, the belief that you don't deserve financial abundance. The power in these words isn't magical in some mystical sense. It's practical magic, the magic of rewiring your brain, of shifting your energy, of changing your expectations, of healing your relationship with receiving. Every time you speak these words with feeling and conviction, you're sending a clear message to your subconscious mind about what you want to experience. And your subconscious mind, which loves you completely and wants to give you everything you ask for, begins to rearrange your life to match that message. I've seen people speak these words for just a few weeks and suddenly receive unexpected money, get offered new job opportunities, find themselves naturally making better financial decisions, or discover income sources they never knew existed. Not because the words are magic spells, but because the words change the person speaking them. And when you change, your world changes. The reason this particular statement is so effective is that it doesn't just address your conscious mind, the part of you that makes daily decisions and thinks logical thoughts. It speaks directly to your subconscious mind, where all your deepest beliefs about money and worthiness are stored. And it speaks to that part of you in the language it understands best, the language of love, of acceptance, of worthiness, of natural flow. Traditional money advice tries to change your outer circumstances without changing your inner landscape. But lasting financial transformation happens from the inside out. When you change your inner relationship with money, your outer financial circumstances must change to match. It's not just a nice idea. It's how the mind works. Your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world. These words also work because they're spoken in the present tense, as if they're already true. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's currently happening and what you're consistently telling it is happening. When you repeatedly say, I lovingly allow money to flow to me easily and abundantly, your subconscious begins to accept this as your current reality and starts creating experiences that match. The beautiful thing about this statement is that it doesn't require you to believe it fully when you first start saying it. Your job isn't to convince yourself that it's true before you begin. Your job is simply to be willing to say it, even if you feel resistance, even if part of you argues against it. The repetition itself creates the belief. The saying of it creates the feeling. The consistent practice of it creates the reality. Let's look more deeply at each part of this powerful statement, because understanding why these specific words were chosen will help you use them with greater intention and effectiveness. Every single word in this affirmation was carefully selected to heal a specific aspect of your relationship with money. When we begin with I lovingly, we're immediately establishing a foundation of love rather than fear. Most people approach money from a place of anxiety, desperation, or need, but love is the most powerful, creative force in the universe. When you approach money with love for yourself, love for the opportunities money can create, love for the freedom and security it can provide, you're aligning yourself with the creative power that brings all good things into your life. The word lovingly also suggests gentleness and patience with yourself as you go through this process. You're not demanding money or feeling desperate for it. You're not angry at money or resentful that you don't have more of it. You're approaching your financial life with the same loving kindness you would offer a beloved friend or child. Allow is perhaps one of the most important words in this entire statement. So many of us have been taught that we must make money happen, force money to come, work harder and harder to earn money. But allow suggests receiving, opening, permitting. It suggests that money is already trying to flow to you, and your job is simply to get out of the way and let it. When you shift from trying to make money happen to allowing money to flow, you move from the energy of desperation into the energy of receptivity. And receptivity is magnetic. It draws opportunities, ideas, people, and circumstances toward you in ways that forcing and pushing never can. The phrase money to flow is significant because it presents money as a river rather than a rock, as energy rather than a solid thing that you have to grab and hold on to. When you think of money as flowing, you stop being afraid that if some flows out, no more will flow in. You begin to understand that money, like water, is meant to move and circulate, and the more you allow it to flow through your life, the more there is. To me is important because it makes this personal and specific. You're not just speaking in generalities about money flowing in the world. You're specifically claiming that money flows to you, personally, individually. You're worthy of having money flow to you, not just to other people, not just to those who seem more deserving or more capable. Easily and abundantly addresses two of the most common limiting beliefs about money. Most people believe that money must be difficult to obtain, that you have to struggle and sacrifice and work yourself to exhaustion to have financial success. But what if it could be easy? What if making money could feel natural and effortless, like breathing or walking? Abundantly challenges the belief that there's only so much to go around, that wanting abundance is greedy or selfish. But abundance is your natural birthright. You live in an abundant universe, and there's more than enough for everyone to live comfortably and joyfully. The word because is crucial because it provides the reason, the foundation, the justification for why money flows to you easily and abundantly. You're not asking for something you don't deserve. You're not hoping for something that might or might not happen. You're stating a fact based on a truth. And that truth is that I am worthy of all good things. This phrase heals the deepest wound that keeps people stuck in financial struggle. The belief that they don't deserve abundance, that good things happen to other people but not to them, that they're somehow flawed or unworthy of financial success. Your worthiness isn't based on what you've accomplished or how hard you've worked or how perfect you are. Your worthiness is inherent. You were born worthy. You are worthy simply because you exist, because you are a beloved child of the universe, because you are here on this earth at this time for a purpose that matters. All good things includes money, but it's so much bigger than money. When you claim your worthiness of all good things, you're opening yourself to receive love, health, joy, opportunities, relationships, experiences, and yes, financial abundance. You're saying that you don't just deserve scraps or leftovers. You deserve the fullness of what life has to offer. Before you begin using these powerful words regularly, it's important to prepare your mind and heart to receive what you're asking for. Think of it like preparing soil before planting seeds. If you plant seeds in soil that's full of weeds and rocks, the seeds might struggle to grow. But if you prepare the soil first, clearing away what doesn't belong and enriching it with nutrients, those same seeds will flourish. Your mind and heart are the soil where your new relationship with money will grow. And just as a gardener wouldn't expect to plant seeds in unprepared ground and get immediate results, you want to take a little time to clear away some of the old beliefs and fears that might interfere with your new abundance. The first step in preparing your mind is to acknowledge what's been there. You don't need to judge it or fight against it or feel ashamed of it. You simply need to recognize the old patterns so you can consciously choose to replace them with new ones. Take a moment to think about the fears, beliefs, and stories about money that you've been carrying. Notice them with curiosity rather than judgment, the way you might notice clouds passing across the sky. Maybe you notice the fear that there's never enough. Maybe you notice the belief that making money requires struggle and sacrifice. Maybe you notice the story that rich people are bad or that money corrupts people. Maybe you notice the feeling that you don't deserve financial abundance. Whatever you notice, just let it be there for a moment. These thoughts and feelings have been trying to protect you in some way, even if they haven't been serving you. Now, gently, lovingly, you can begin to release these old patterns. You don't have to fight them or force them away. You can simply thank them for trying to keep you safe and let them know that you're choosing something different now. You might say something like, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm ready to experience something new now. I'm ready to allow abundance into my life." Forgiveness is a powerful tool for clearing old money blocks. You might need to forgive your parents or family for the limiting beliefs they passed down to you, understanding that they were only sharing what they knew. You might need to forgive yourself for past financial mistakes or for believing that you weren't worthy of abundance. You might need to forgive money itself for seeming to cause stress or problems in your life. Forgiveness doesn't mean you're saying that everything was okay or that you approve of what happened. Forgiveness means you're choosing to release the anger, resentment, or hurt so that it doesn't continue to block your abundance. You're freeing yourself from the past so you can create something beautiful in the present. Creating a sense of worthiness is essential for allowing money to flow to you. If you don't feel worthy deep down, you'll unconsciously sabotage your financial success or push away opportunities. But worthiness isn't something you have to earn or prove. It's something you can choose to claim right now, regardless of your past or your current circumstances. Spend some time each day reminding yourself of your inherent worth. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are worthy of love, worthy of abundance, worthy of all good things. Notice the ways you add value to the world, even in small ways. Appreciate your unique gifts and talents. Treat yourself with the same kindness and respect you would offer someone you love deeply. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to shift your energy around money and open yourself to receive more. When you appreciate what you already have, you send a message to the universe that you're a good steward of abundance, that you can be trusted with more. Gratitude also shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, from scarcity to abundance. Start a daily practice of appreciating money in all its forms. Thank the money in your wallet. Appreciate the money that pays for your home and food. Feel grateful for the abundance that surrounds you in nature. Notice all the ways money has supported you and blessed your life. Even if you're currently struggling financially, you can find things to appreciate about money itself. Now that you've prepared your heart and mind to receive, let's talk about how to use this powerful statement in your daily life. The key to transformation isn't just in knowing what to say, but in how you say it, when you say it, and the energy you bring to the practice. This isn't about mindlessly repeating words. This is about creating a sacred conversation between you and the abundant universe that's waiting to support you. The most important thing to understand is that this practice works best when it becomes as natural as breathing. You want these words to become so much a part of you that they feel true, that they feel like your truth. And the way to make that happen is through loving repetition day after day until your subconscious mind accepts this new reality as the only reality. Begin each morning by speaking these words before you get out of bed. While you're still in that dreamy, receptive state between sleeping and waking, when your conscious mind hasn't yet started its daily chatter, whisper to yourself, "I lovingly allow money to flow to me easily and abundantly because I am worthy of all good things." Say it slowly, with feeling, as if you're speaking a prayer of gratitude for what's already true. As you say these words, place your hand on your heart and feel the love you're sending to yourself. Feel the truth of your worthiness settling into your body. Breathe the words in deeply, letting them fill your entire being. This isn't just a mental exercise, it's a whole body experience of claiming your abundance. Throughout the day, whenever you find yourself thinking fearful thoughts about money or feeling anxious about your finances, return to these words. Don't wait until you're in a panic about bills or stressed about your bank account. The moment you notice your mind going to that old place of worry, gently redirect it with loving kindness. I lovingly allow money to flow to me easily and abundantly because I am worthy of all good things. When you're paying bills, instead of feeling resentful or fearful, say these words with gratitude. When you're at the store making purchases, instead of feeling guilty or worried, say these words with joy. When you're thinking about your financial goals, instead of feeling overwhelmed or doubtful, say these words with excitement and anticipation. The evening is another powerful time to practice. As you're preparing for sleep, when your mind is naturally becoming more receptive, repeat these words with deep appreciation for all the ways money has supported you throughout the day and with anticipation for all the ways it will continue to flow to you. But here's what makes this practice truly powerful. It's not just about the words themselves, but about the feeling and visualization you bring to them. As you speak, see yourself receiving money in ways that feel natural and joyful. Maybe you see yourself receiving an unexpected check, or being offered a wonderful new opportunity, or finding money-saving solutions that feel effortless. Don't worry about how the money will come. Your job isn't to figure out the how. Your job is to create the feeling of what it's like to have money flowing to you easily. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom, the gratitude. Feel how good it feels to pay bills easily, to buy what you need without stress, to be generous with others, to feel financially secure. Some days, you might want to write these words in a journal, letting your hand move across the page while you think about what each word means to you. Writing engages a different part of your brain and can help the message sink in more deeply. Other days, you might want to say the words while looking at yourself in the mirror, sending love and affirmation directly to the person you see reflected there. You can also create little reminders throughout your day. Write the words on sticky notes and place them where you'll see them often. Set gentle reminders on your phone. Use the words as a screensaver or wallpaper. The more you surround yourself with this message, the more natural it becomes to think this way about money. When you're walking, let the rhythm of your steps carry the rhythm of these words. When you're driving, let these words be your traveling companion. When you're doing household tasks, let these words turn ordinary moments into abundance practice. The beautiful thing about this affirmation is that it can be practiced anywhere, anytime, without anyone else even knowing you're doing powerful inner work. As you begin this practice, it's perfectly natural to experience some resistance. Your mind might argue with these words. You might hear a voice saying, "That's not true," or "You don't really deserve that," or "This is just wishful thinking." Please know that this resistance is completely normal and actually a sign that you're touching something important, something that's ready to change. When you notice resistance arising, don't fight it or judge yourself for having it. Instead, acknowledge it with compassion. You might say to that doubtful voice, "I understand you're trying to protect me, but I'm choosing to believe something different now." Then gently return to your affirmation, speaking it with even more love and conviction. Sometimes the resistance might show up as forgetfulness. You might find yourself going days without remembering to say your affirmation. This isn't failure, it's just old patterns trying to maintain themselves. When you notice you've forgotten, simply begin again with kindness. There's no need to scold yourself or feel guilty. Just lovingly return to the practice. Other times, resistance might show up as skepticism. Your logical mind might demand proof that this is working. It might want to see immediate results in your bank account. But transformation often happens in layers, and the first changes might be subtle. You might notice that you feel less anxious about money, or that you're making slightly better financial decisions, or that opportunities seem to appear more frequently. Trust these small shifts. They're the foundation for bigger changes to come. Some people experience what feels like things getting worse before they get better. Old financial patterns might seem to intensify just before they break. Bills might come all at once. Unexpected expenses might arise, or financial fears might feel stronger than usual. This can actually be a sign that your new abundance is on its way, pushing out the old energy to make room for the new. If this happens, it's especially important to stay consistent with your practice. Don't let temporary challenges convince you that the affirmation isn't working. Instead, see these challenges as opportunities to practice believing in your abundance, even when the outer evidence doesn't yet match your inner conviction. Doubt might also arise from comparing your journey to others. You might wonder why some people seem to manifest money so quickly while you're still working on it. But everyone's path is different. Some people have fewer blocks to clear, some have different lessons to learn, some have different timing. Your job is to focus on your own journey with patience and love. Remember that your subconscious mind has been running old programs about money for years, maybe decades. It's going to take some time to fully install the new programming. Be patient with the process and with yourself. Every time you say your affirmation with love and conviction, you're creating positive change, even if you can't see it yet. The goal isn't to never have another worried thought about money. The goal is to notice when those thoughts arise and choose to redirect them more quickly. The goal is to make thoughts of abundance and worthiness more frequent and more natural than thoughts of lack and limitation. As you continue this practice and begin to experience more ease around money, it's important to understand that abundance isn't just about having more money in your bank account. True abundance is a way of living, a consciousness, a way of seeing and experiencing the world that attracts all good things into your life. Living in abundance consciousness means you start to notice and appreciate abundance everywhere. You see it in the sunset that costs nothing but fills your heart with beauty. You see it in the friendship that enriches your life in ways money never could. You see it in your own creativity, your health, your ability to love and be loved. When you recognize abundance in all its forms, you become a magnet for even more abundance. This consciousness also means you begin to trust the flow of life. Instead of gripping tightly to every dollar out of fear, you start to trust that money, like breath, is meant to flow in and out. You become comfortable with the natural rhythms of financial life, knowing that sometimes more flows in and sometimes more flows out, but the overall movement is toward greater abundance. Generosity becomes natural when you live in abundance consciousness. Not the kind of giving that comes from obligation or guilt, but the kind that comes from genuine joy and overflow. When you truly believe that money flows to you easily and abundantly, sharing becomes effortless because you know there's always more where that came from. You also start making decisions from abundance rather than scarcity. Instead of choosing based on what's cheapest, you choose based on what's best for you. Instead of accepting less than you deserve because you're afraid nothing better will come, you hold out for what truly aligns with your worth. This shift in decision-making creates an upward spiral that attracts ever greater opportunities. Gratitude becomes a constant companion when you live in abundance consciousness. You appreciate not just the money you have, but the countless ways you're supported and blessed each day. This appreciation sends a powerful message to the universe that you're someone who recognizes and values abundance, making you a natural recipient for even more. Your relationship with time also shifts when you embrace abundance consciousness. You stop rushing around in a panic, trying to force things to happen faster. You start trusting divine timing, knowing that everything unfolds in perfect sequence. This relaxed state of being is much more attractive to opportunities than the frantic energy of desperation. Perhaps most importantly, you begin to see yourself as a steward of abundance rather than a victim of lack. You understand that money flows through you to create positive change in the world. Whether that's supporting your family, contributing to causes you care about, or simply enjoying the beauty and experiences that money can provide, you see your financial abundance as a gift that serves the greater good. And so, beautiful soul, we come to the end of our time together today, but really this is just the beginning of your new relationship with money and abundance. You now have everything you need to transform your financial life. The understanding of how your thoughts create your reality, the powerful words that can rewire your subconscious mind, and the practical tools to make this transformation a daily practice. I want you to know how proud I am of you for being here, for being open to something new, for having the courage to look at your money story with fresh eyes. It takes real bravery to question old beliefs and try a different way. And the fact that you're here reading these words tells me that you're ready for the abundance that's waiting for you. Your journey with money doesn't have to be a struggle anymore. It doesn't have to be filled with stress and worry and never having enough. Starting right now in this very moment, you can choose a different experience. You can choose to see money as a friend rather than an enemy, as energy that wants to flow to you rather than something you have to chase after. The words I've shared with you today, I lovingly allow money to flow to me easily and abundantly because I am worthy of all good things. These aren't just words. They're a bridge between where you've been and where you're going. They're a pathway from struggle to ease, from fear to love, from scarcity to abundance. Use them gently, use them consistently, use them with love. Trust the process even when your logical mind wants proof. Trust your worthiness even when old voices try to convince you otherwise. Trust the abundance of the universe even when your current circumstances seem to suggest scarcity. You are so much more powerful than you know. You are so much more deserving than you've been taught to believe. You are worthy of financial abundance, not because of what you've done or achieved, but simply because you exist, because you are a beloved child of this abundant universe. The money you desire isn't being kept from you as punishment. It isn't reserved for other people who are somehow more deserving. It's simply waiting for you to open your heart and mind to receive it. And with the tools you now have, you can do exactly that. Be patient with yourself as you practice these new ways of thinking and being. Transformation takes time, but every moment you spend affirming your abundance and worthiness is a moment spent creating the financial life you desire. Every time you choose love over fear, flow over force, abundance over scarcity, you're taking a step toward the financial freedom that is your birthright. Remember, sweet one, you are worthy of all good things. Money wants to flow to you easily and abundantly. Your job is simply to lovingly allow it. And I know with absolute certainty that as you practice these truths, your life will transform in the most beautiful and abundant ways. Go now and speak these words with love. Live these words with conviction. And watch as your world rearranges itself to match the abundance you're claiming. You've got this, beautiful soul. You've always had this. And now you know it too.